I'm pretty pressed to have this tiny microphone. Peace to the collective. I am Wifty Bangura, and today we're going to talk about a topic that affects a lot of us on our journey to success, and that is the crab mentality. If you don't know what the crab mentality is, it's essentially comparing life and a community or a society to crabs in a barrel. Think about like that live lobster tank, like at a restaurant, and those crabs will sit in this barrel and maybe one crab like fights to get to the top of the barrel and is like about to escape so that yo don't get eaten. Instead of pushing him up to help him escape, they will pull him back down into the barrel, and he's like, nah nigga, like nobody's escaping, nobody is getting out of here, we all getting eaten out this bitch. And a lot of us don't really know when we're existing in a space like that, because there could be people around you, in your family, in your creative community, in your friend group even. It takes a lot to recognize when people around you, even if they may not consciously have malintent, they are still holding you back. When I first started creating music, seriously, like this is like post high school, entering into college, my music was very acoustic guitar, singer songwriter, the type. I remember being in a vocal lesson, and someone that I had looked up to a lot was like listening in while I showed my teacher a song that I wrote. And she was like, I don't like the way that the break in your voice. I'm gonna try to explain this for non-musicians, but you know how like there are singers that be running and they be like whatever, and it's all connected. Like my style of singing, especially back then as I was finding my voice, I was breaking those notes apart, like like, if that makes sense. Which I later found out is more of a jazz style of singing, something known as scatting. But I remember her saying like, I don't like your voice, or she didn't say I don't like your voice, but she was like, I don't like that, it sounds weird. And oh my goodness, that like plagued my mind for so long, because it was like then and then in the following years that I realized that my voice did not match like a stereotypical like R&B singer kind of like voice for that time, right? We didn't have SZA like that, or like Leon Lahavis wasn't like popping in my world anyway. Like there weren't people that like had those breaks in their voice, or like Ari Lennox, you know what I'm saying, where she can run but like she will break things apart for stylistic reasons or whatever. Like the point is like there weren't a lot of singers in the mainstream that were representing themselves in this way musically, and it made me very insecure. I thought that my voice was trash, or that I was doing it wrong, or it really fucked with me. Now it's like one of the things that like I love about my voice, but back then, yo, she was trying to bring me down. Like it was giving hater. It really was giving hater. It wasn't giving, oh, my preference. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you can have a preference and still be able to honor another style of music, unless you're a hater. And that's just my opinion. But I feel like that's also fact. I tried to do other styles of music. I tried to embrace what was widely loved by people who looked like me. And I thought that I had to become a singer that I just was not. I am just not that kind of singer, and that is okay. Vocal agility is lit. Vocal agility doesn't equate to church style runs exclusively. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Fight me. Like, if you feel a little energy behind that, I have an HBCU experience. I was in a gospel choir. There's a whole lot there. Another story, another day. Okay, moving on. This, move to LA that I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my mom like until 2 weeks before I decided to come, because I knew she would try to talk me out of it. Not because my mom doesn't want me to succeed. No tea, no shade to my mom, but because of our age difference, her way of thinking is quite antiquated in some ways as it relates to like the non-traditional job path or education path. And it took us some time like to get past that whole like we are different people from different generations, and you can't make me get a government job. I won't do it. Even the people in my community, I just didn't tell anybody. I'm jumping around, but I want to give personal examples because the shit, like, even I have to take a step back and be like, damn, that was a little, you was trying to, you know what I'm saying? I remember years ago, I had performed somewhere and I would, typically I would go home after I performed because I'd be tired. I just didn't really want to talk to anybody. Like at the time, I was very socially awkward and I was going through stuff. This guy, he was like, "Oh, yo, Wifty, I'm surprised you staying out here with us. Like you hanging out, cool, cause you Hollywood." And I was like, "Nigga, what? What are you talking about?" Someone was perceiving me in a weird ass way because I enjoy my own company or because my social battery be running low. And it's just this energy of like trying to make you feel less than for having a difference in opinion or for having a difference in the way you want to do things, for wanting to live your life in accordance with your own like destiny or your spirit or whatever, instead of doing what everybody else is fucking doing. You're not like everybody else. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And if you do what 99% of people are doing, you're going to be like 99% of people. Chances are that if you're watching this video, you don't want to be like 99% of people. People are going to be fucking mad about it. That's none of your business, and it's none of mine. Honestly, that shit is like so dumb. So dumb. I still struggle with this like energy of people pleasing and wanting to like accommodate people's insecurities or wanting to make people feel comfortable when I know I have big dreams. I moved here because LA is one of those places like if you don't have big dreams, then what are you doing here? I mean, a lot of people from small towns move here. Like I'm from a small city and I moved here, but this is not giving small city, small town energy at all. It's one of those places where you have to. And I love that nobody's about to let you make them feel small, or if they do, because everybody is human, you feel me? Like we have like our insecurities, whatever, but you're not about to stop nobody. Somebody could be an admin assistant at Netflix and they put out like a nice little press release like in the office or some shit. I don't know what they call that. I don't know. I'm just talking. Saying that they need, brainstorming, like an in-office brainstorming session, and suddenly that administrative assistant becomes a writer's assistant. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those places where that is just the nature of the place. I was one of those people for a long time where I would just talk and talk about everything I wanted to do. Like even with this YouTube channel and with everything else that I've been saying I'm going to do, I'm going to release music, I'm going to post content or whatever, just talking about it, fucking talking about it and not doing it. And there are some people when you do that feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, you're not excelling, I'm not excelling, great. Let's stay here together. And that's a problem, bro. And it's difficult to identify that. It's difficult to identify that when you're comfortable. When that person's making you feel comfortable with like being, in your shell or being insecure, when these people are allowing you to like shuck your responsibilities, negate whatever things you have to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people do that, like, that should be a clear indicator that you are existing in a crab barrel. And I know that there are more extreme versions of this, and it's tragic how some things play out when other people just cannot stand the idea of their peers moving past them and finding other peers and making new friends and building new communities and doing new things. Those things can end in tragedy, and it's so dangerous to not call it out. I feel like it could also be dangerous to call it out depending on where you at. So just be mindful. If you are experiencing like life in a crab barrel and you're in a dangerous setting, don't say shit, just get out. And it took me a lot to understand that I was existing in a crab barrel, even though I had support. Like, I had so much support back home. I have beautiful friends back home that I still talk to, which is great. Those people aside, I was existing in a crab barrel, and it was to the point where I could feel the energy of my environment. Take this lighter, for instance, right? This lighter is you. Let's pretend that like your destiny is a blunt or something and you're trying to light the blunt. I don't have okay. Roll with me, please. Now, if we're in like windy conditions, you think the flame is going to be able to stay fucking lit to light up your destiny? If you're in the wrong conditions, if like you can build a house around, you know how people build a house whatever when it's windy outside, trying to light they jack, or they try to light you know what I'm saying? Like, and they can't get the light, the flame to stay on because it's so windy, like everything is coming at it or whatever, and you can't light your J in windy conditions. Sometimes you have to just dip, bro. Sometimes you have to leave, you have to move the lighter so that the flame can stay lit and you can spark the J that is your destiny. I hope that makes sense. It's just important to remember that your journey is unique and nobody can tell you what that's going to look like for you. You have to be discerning enough to catch when the individuals surrounding you are trying to pull you back into the crab barrel. Get out. If you notice other people existing in this way, if you are a person that exists in this way, I need you to check yourself because you're trying to ruin dreams. You have dreams of your own, bro. Like, therapy. This would have been a great time to be like, yeah, I'm an affiliate with BetterHelp, go to my link. But I'm not. So maybe next time. I did go through a period where I thought that I was like, and I still feel, this way to an extent where I'm like, if I'm eating, everybody's eating. It's nothing. But then I would try to like pull everybody with me while I'm still trying to figure my own shit out in this way that was very unrealistic for me to be able to stay focused and motivated, because everybody else has their own insecurities and their own dramas and their own trauma and all of this shit. And I have my own stuff, and it can just be a lot if you're trying to just like all at one go hoist the entire crab community, the entire trying to hoist them all out of the barrel all at one time. Like, you could try to tip the crab, you could try to tip the barrel over. That, I feel like that's like trying to destroy. I don't know. I don't want to confuse myself. I'm trying to explain like how you can help others break free from the crab mentality. My experience is lead by example. If you're watching this video and you're like, damn, like I got all this stuff queued up, I wrote everything I want to I have all these songs and all I gotta do is get a band, whatever it is that you have been holding yourself back from doing, let this video and me finally getting my shit together be an example for you. I hope that it brings you some beacon of hope or some shit, because bro, I think I've always had things to share, but I've always been too afraid to share them. And that ends today. That literally ends now as I record this video. And I hope that you understand that no matter who you thought you were, it's nothing compared to who you could be and who you know you want to be. I think that's it. If you like this video, please like this video. And I'll see you next time. Peace.